Action.
Welcome to Off Camera, the UC Film Society radio show all about movies. I'm Ollie.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Cam.
And we'll be your directors for this episode. This week is the penultimate episode of this semester and this season. Next week we'll be doing our final deep dive of the season. But this week, as we're nearing the end, we'll be talking about our top fives. Our top 5 movies, TV shows, and video games. Guys, how are you feeling? Penultimate episode.
I'm feeling sad. It's going to be weird when you're not a part of this show.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that yet.
I think we talked about it a little bit.
No, we haven't.
Did I just reveal? I feel like we talked about it.
That's all right. It is true. This is my second last episode on the show. These two will be taking over for good because I'm no longer a student, so I technically shouldn't be here.
But we've
I
done
shouldn't
many
have
episodes
been here for the whole semester, but that's fine. But yeah, as of next week, it's my last week, so I've picked our deep dive, which we'll tell you about at the end of the episode in case you want to watch it along with us. But yeah, we'll just have a chill time next week talking about a movie that I picked that I like, that you two haven't seen, and then
we'll talk about
wrap up the season.
Maybe think of some fun segments to do on your last episode.
Yeah,
alongside
we
the
have
deep
to
dive.
we have to do a quick pitch.
100%. That's the last thing we do for sure.
Yeah. And then the movie we come up with, I'm gonna make.
All right.
You're contractually obligated to make it.
Yeah.
Yep.
But first, we'll jump into our recent watching for this week.
Sounds great.
You two both went and saw the same movie.
Yes, we did. Not together, but we saw it the same night.
The same night. Which one did you see?
620?
I saw the 620.
Yeah.
So Jake was in Sydney though when he watched this.
Yeah.
And I was here in Canberra. But Dendy, because of May the 4th, which was 2 days ago.
Yeah.
As of recording. Because of May the 4th, they were rerunning all of the Star Wars films. And we both went and watched Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, on May the 5th. Because they did
Revenge
the originals on
Revenge of the 5th.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Saw it 4K restoration. And it was awesome. I'd never seen this one on the big screen. I hadn't seen the film just in general in years. And it blew me away. This movie is very flawed, but the heights this film reaches are unlike anything else.
Oh my God.
I cannot think of a better third act in movies. Maybe that's just because I've just watched it, right? But you really don't get much better than Anakin versus Obi-Wan cut with Yoda versus Palpatine. The music, the epicness, what it means for the story, and just the filmmaking. I mean, oh my God, it's just such a strange film, such a chaotic film throughout, and then it just reaches that climactic third act that just knocks you on your feet. It's crazy.
Yeah. This is it. We talked about it last week. We already did this film quite the justice last week, but it is like Shakespeare.
Oh, 100%.
It's pretty much Macbeth, but still, it's a Shakespearean tragedy, and being able to watch this on the big screen, I can't imagine watching this when it first came out in 2005. Your brains must have exploded from
ahead of its time.
It's so ahead of its time. Even because we watched the 4K restoration, which I'm not sure if they did a re-render of the CGI, but it looked better.
It looked amazing to me. Not in the up close shots, it still looked a bit weird sometimes, but the wide shots of all the cities, all the opening shots, all the exteriors, all the insert shots, I was jaw dropped. I couldn't believe how good that film looked.
It looks so good, and considering out of the whole prequel trilogy, there are only 2 physical locations that they went to. There was Tatooine, which is Tunisia, and Naboo, which is in Italy, and that's just crazy. Everything else is blue screen or green screen.
Also, this
filmed in Sydney.
Yeah.
Filmed at Fox Studios.
That's
in
awesome.
Sydney.
Now
All
Disney
3.
Studios.
Wow.
I think this might be my favorite Star Wars score, like as a whole, the album. Like I never really realized that, but yeah.
I need to listen
Like-
through. I started listening through like all of the like original trilogy scores. I need to just do all of the films.
I think Anakin versus Obi-Wan, that track is like my favorite.
Battle of the
just-
Heroes.
Yeah. It's great
I
stuff.
When they
I think that's
clashed
better
in
than
the lava
Duel of the
Stop,
Fates.
stop. You're spoiling a segment we'll do later.
I think that's better than Duel of the Fates.
I agree.
Battle of the Heroes.
I'm gonna need to choose a new moment. Whoops.
That's why I said I'm going first. We're doing this movie, Pick Your Moment, and we're already kind of getting into it, but yes.
Bam. Anyway, yeah, this
It was awesome.
So cool.
I loved it so much.
Whoops. I finished my popcorn and like at the end of the first sequence, which is one of the best opening sequences of any film.
You know, from the moment they appear on screen to the moment they land on Coruscant, it's like it's over an hour.
Yeah.
Dude, I forgot how fast-paced this movie is. It moves so quickly. I mean, once Palpatine says, "I am the Senate," the movie just ends, in my opinion. Like, it just goes
in your mind.
beep, 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 beep.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
it gets to the end so
I
quickly.
hadn't watched this in a while,
Yeah.
and as soon as the movie started, I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't think of what came next in the film. So
Right,
it felt
yeah.
like I was experiencing it for the first time.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It was
always
amazing.
the best feeling
Like-
in the world.
Oh my god, I can't
Yeah, no.
express how my brain was feeling. It was
It's just such a
so
strange
good.
film. There's so many strange decisions made. There's so many weird Lucas-isms. There's honestly some stuff that maybe doesn't work, but as a whole, man, I mean, what a film.
I love
There's nothing
like it.
Lucasisms.
What else did you watch?
That same day, I saw The Fall Guy, which is the new Ryan Gosling.
I
Emma
also
Blunt
saw The Fall Guy.
which is a film that Olly saw.
Oh,
I'm just
Cam's gonna leave because he hasn't seen it, and we are gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
So he's not. He
Oh.
doesn't want to get
I'm
spoilers.
actually going to spit my gum. But yeah.
That too.
Talk about it and then let me know when you're done.
Will do. So
So yeah, saw The Fall Guy. I had.
I saw your review of it.
Yeah.
You didn't love it.
I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I definitely enjoyed it somewhat. Harmless film. Didn't make me upset. Didn't make me angry. I was just a bit disappointed. I had very high expectations for this film. I didn't think it was going to be some masterpiece, right? But I really like Bullet Train. I adore Ryan Gosling. I think he can be the funniest guy alive when given the right content. And this film had great reviews coming out of festivals and just audience reactions. And it just didn't live up to my expectations personally. The humor wasn't my type of humor, and it wasn't funny enough for me personally. Like I said, I think Ryan Gosling can be just the best when he's got the right material, and I just didn't think this material supported him or the rest of the cast. I loved the action. The action was great, seeing familiar locations in Sydney. You said in your review it really celebrates stunt people, and it definitely does. I love that. The B-roll credits of showing how this film got made, I really couldn't help but smile. And I did enjoy myself. I just really wanted it to be a bit more in terms of the comedy. It's fun. It's a great crowd pleaser. Everybody in my theater clapped it when it ended. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. So I totally get it, why people are liking it. I know you liked it more than me. I totally get it. Maybe I need to see it again. Maybe I had too high expectations, but that's just me.
I can actually totally agree with a lot of your points.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was as good as Bullet Train.
Not at all.
I think the plot left a little to be desired.
For sure.
And I think the jokes are for a particular person.
Yeah.
That being said, none of those things detracted from my experience because I think I just didn't have the same expectations of you.
Yeah.
I went in expecting to have a fun time, and I think the things they focused on were it celebrating stunt people, which it 100% did. Every other scene is a stunt, and it's fantastic.
It's awesome.
It was so cool.
The action is fantastic here.
And then to be funny, which it worked for me, and it evidently worked for quite a lot of people, but not you.
Yeah.
Well, somewhat for you, but not entirely.
Yeah, because Ryan Gosling can make me laugh no matter what. It's just like, how much can he make me laugh? You know?
And then, the plot, sure, it wasn't anything crazy, but it was a fun plot.
It was a fun plot.
And that was all I cared about. So I still really enjoyed it. I don't think it was as good as like everyone who reviewed it from festivals said, but I had a great time.
I totally get it. I wish I liked it more. I'm honestly like upset with my reaction, but I'm just being honest.
Yeah, but I think you'll probably enjoy it more on a rewatch.
Yeah,
because you can
maybe.
appreciate
For
the
sure.
stunts while knowing not to have too many high expectations.
Yeah.
Oh, hey
Gosling is the best movie star we have. He should be in every movie.
Gosling, Ryan and Emily's
She's great too.
like chemistry was so good.
They have great chemistry, although I can't say I bought them as a couple. It was more about like them as
I liked their
actors.
dynamic.
Yes. Yeah.
Totally.
Totally.
But yeah, did you watch anything else?
Oh, I watched a bunch more. I saw Top Gun Maverick in IMAX. Wow, what a film. I mean, the sound design, the way this film immerses you in the plane and the action and the storytelling, the performances. I mean, this film is a perfect blockbuster in my opinion. And I just had a great time. I also watched The Jerk and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which are two Steve Martin comedies that I hadn't seen before. I really like Steve Martin as a performer, as a comedian. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is a great feel-good comedy set around Thanksgiving time that I can't wait to rewatch around the holidays. It made me laugh. It made me feel good. Then The Jerk is like more of a cynical comedy that's very dark and pretty dated, but I really enjoyed it. I watched Ghostbusters. I haven't seen this since I was a kid. I didn't
The first
remember
one?
it. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a great film.
I'm back again.
I'm not sure it's like
Oh, hey Cam.
it's not like I kind of think I should like this more than I do.
It's kind of weird. When I watched it for the first time, I was like, "This is nothing like what I expected."
It's
like
a
it has
strange film.
It has way more like meta plot than I thought. I thought it was just going to be like there are ghosts and they're threatening to destroy the city, and these guys have to stop them. Which is like it's there,
Yeah.
but there's also like there's this ancient god, and
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
It's a very weird film, and all the stuff with Sigourney Weaver is like, what is going on? And some of the visual effects, I mean, are just not good. I love all the practical effects, but the visual effects just date it, and in not a charming way, in my opinion. But I love Bill Murray. I love all the people in it. It's fun. It's funny.
Considering Star Wars came out like almost 10 years beforehand. Like,
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Yeah. The theme song, I'll never not smile when that plays.
Yeah.
And then I watched Rush Hour 1 and 2. I'd never seen these films before either. I love them. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker are so funny together. Jackie Chan does some of the most awesome stunts I've seen in this movie. And they're just great action comedies.
This was just the first one?
I watched first and the second.
And the second.
I haven't seen the third one yet.
So
I haven't seen.
I've been talking about this for
ages.
ages, and I'm surprised that you haven't seen it. To be honest, but
Yeah.
they are some really good films. Have you seen the Did you watch the bloopers in the end of the second one
with Don Cheadle?
Yeah,
There were the blooper reel for 1 and 2 are amazing. Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan are just the best. But yeah, I enjoyed those.
cool. I didn't watch much else this week. I watched Tales of the Empire, which was
I loved it.
I loved it. It was
Haven't seen
really cool. I'm a bit disappointed with how Barris's story ended in this. However,
No, I have theories.
how her arc in this ended, not herself as a person, if she died.
not her story, but her
Yeah.
arc in Tales of the
Her
Empire.
arc.
That's fair.
Morgan's was a bit
I thought it gave us good lore.
yeah.
I was intrigued as to why they chose her as a character, especially because like she's already dead. It's sort of like making you care about someone who doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. It didn't make me like her any more or any less. I'll be
but
honest.
I still thought it was interesting to watch and valuable to Star Wars. I know we're getting a second season of Tales of the Jedi. I hope they do a second season of Tales of the Empire, and we just get more interesting content.
Yeah, because like as much as I love the prequel saga and the Clone Wars saga, I'm really interested to see more of the Empire like we did in Andor. Because you hear about the terrible things that they did and everything that they did, but we don't really see it, and I'd be interested to see it. But it wasn't as good as Tales of the Jedi, but I think that's just because they're more minor characters that they didn't make us care much about to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But I do really like it, and the animation, oh my god, is so good.
There are some moments where it looks live action.
There was when Barris is standing in the meeting room with the table and that wide shot, the round thing on the desk that looked real.
Vader looked real.
Yeah.
In his profile shot.
Oh right, yeah. I'll find the shot the shot I'm talking about later, but it looked realistic.
Yeah. What else did you watch?
That's it.
You only watched Tales of the Empire.
Yeah.
And Revenge of the Sith.
And Revenge of the Sith. I'm also slowly making my way through Across the Spider-Verse again, but
bit by bit.
bit by bit. Well, I've got write a paragraph for an assignment, watch an hour, watch half an hour.
It's not that long of a movie.
I watched The Fall Guy, as we talked about. I watched a bit more My Hero Academia, which I still haven't finished, so I won't talk in depth about it. I watched Tales of the Empire, which I really enjoyed.
Oh, I'm still watching Fallout. I haven't finished it yet, but that's because of other reasons.
I haven't finished it. I didn't watch any more.
What episode are you on?
Fair enough. I think I'm still on. Just finished episode 4.
Nice.
I actually think that's it. You guys talked about the things that I've watched, so I've already said them.
Cool.
Yeah, fair enough.
What we're going to do before we jump into our top 5s is we're going to do a very fast pick your moment of Revenge of the Sith.
Yes.
Having just spoken about it. It being so fresh in our minds. Yeah.
Jake's already said
I know. I have
Jake
to claim this.
has dibs first.
I have to claim this, Cam. You already said it, but I hadn't gotten chills like this in so long. And this is me saying this about Dune 2, when Dune 2 is coming out, like 2 months ago? 3 months ago? When Anakin and Obi-Wan are having their fight, and they clash, and the lava behind them explodes, I wanted to stand up and just clap. I had totally forgotten about that moment.
It's not even a still on film grab. What the hell?
That's dumb.
Come on, guys. Anyway,
I literally said, "Wow!" Like not even just like, "Oh, like
I can't
feel like I
imagine seeing that on a big screen."
It's unbelievable. Especially because
I have no idea what you missed. Like genuinely, this is one of the best.
This is easily the best pick your moment. This is easily one of the most pick your moments ever. Like it's just like made for it. And yeah, I think the fact that I didn't even like anticipate it coming. I didn't say wow, like oh wow, like that looks cool. I knew that was coming. It was just like wow, I saw that for the first time, even though it wasn't. So yeah, sorry, I just needed like I couldn't explain my feeling about that.
What's your moment?
I'm going second. I have 2 moments, but my only one of them's legit. One of them's a meme, and if I was being memey, it would obviously be hello there.
Yeah, it's a great moment.
Yeah,
hello there.
I like do it.
that's not
good
a still on film grab either. What the hell? They've got the shots either side. Okay, don't worry.
But my actual moment is a bit more of an understated one. It's when Anakin is standing in the Jedi Council chambers, while Mace Windu is in the process of arresting Palpatine.
Yeah.
And he stands there. I've stolen Cam's moment. He stands there, and you can. The music is hauntingly sad, and one single tear just slowly goes down his face, and it's got to be one of Hayden's best acting moments, and I think he's a great actor.
I think he's great.
That scene says so much though, and there's no dialogue, but it says so much.
But you can hear the stuff that's going on in the background with Mace, and you can hear Padme, and it's just so perfect because that is the moment everything shifts. If he had stayed there like Mace said to, nothing that came after would have happened.
That's a great
and that's not just this movie, the rest of the saga.
Yeah, for sure. Hayden gets a bad rap as an actor because I think he's great at facial expressions. It's just the dialogue, but that's not his fault. I think that's Lucas's fault.
I also think it's a lot more noticeable in Attack of the Clones.
100%.
Well, like he gets more whiny in this movie.
Yeah.
Like in the second movie he has worse dialogue, but in this one he is more whiny. But again, that's not Hayden's fault. He's doing what he's like what the character needs. And it just works.
I want to speak on an underrated scene after Cam gives his pick.
So I've kind of got 2. So the first one is General Grievous when his all 4 arms first come out and he does the spinny lightsaber
and
thing.
In the background there's a B1 battle droid that nudges its friend just before Grievous's arms fold out.
All right, I'm going to Disney Plus. I'm watching this now. But yeah.
You just search up Grievous battle droids Revenge of the Sith.
Those 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thought so. Yeah, so that was so cool, and the quality of the CGI on Grievous's face,
he looked great.
It genuinely looks like it's
the close-ups
real.
Of his eyes and then Obi-Wan's eyes. I was like, oh my god.
Obi-Wan's looks fake, and I don't know why. Because it goes to this
it's
really
because
high quality shot of Grievous's eyes, and then it just
they probably rendered it in like 6K or something, and then shot in 4K.
Yeah,
probably.
It looked very.
The original source footage for Revenge of the Sith is 1080p digital. Actually, sorry, 2K. So it's 2840 by 1080.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly higher than HD, but still not that quality. And I wonder why, because they couldn't have. There was no you couldn't have high resolutions, but it still looks so good.
Yeah,
I forgot to tell you that I'm wearing my Yoda socks.
Nice.
Oh, and they've got ears too.
I love them.
That's so sick. And then my
In preparation for
actual moment is the final scene of the film when Obi-Wan is giving baby Luke to.
Interesting.
That's a good pick. Your popcorn, if it wasn't magic, would be so stale.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's magic.
My popcorn was not. There was none left by this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that the rising twin sun score and Obi-Wan knowing what
I
he's.
think they're setting actually. Binary Sunset. That's the name of the track.
You know what I mean. The song on the album is actually called "The Princess Appears." So.
Well, that's different. It's actually a different track.
Okay, whatever.
It's a very different track.
But it's just the swell of the music. There's no dialogue. Nothing needs to be said. You can just tell the responsibility that get banned. He's just pulled up Binary Sunset.
Admittedly,
track.
Not in this album.
Yeah, that's the album I was looking at.
Nah, man, you got it wrong.
Damn it. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's my moment.
Yeah,
What was the underrated scene?
Oh, just quick.
You know what? You know what the moment, like the track in the moment, is called "A New Hope." In your moment, "A New Hope" and end credits. The track is called that in Revenge of the Sith. Anyway,
okay. It's early in the movie, but the scene when Anakin talks to Yoda and the lighting
is so good.
I always forget about that scene.
It's such a basic lighting technique though, and I think if I put more thought into my shot lists when for uni films, it could be that good.
Yeah.
But it's something that's just so simple but so effective.
And Hayden is amazing in that scene.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Yoda's just been I don't care.
No, Yoda does care. You see that he really cares about Anakin,
cares.
but he also has this Jedi mindset and belief, and he's not wrong as well. Everything Yoda says is correct and would work for Anakin if he wasn't also being manipulated by Palpatine and having all these other problems with Padme.
You know what? I'm changing my scene.
Okay.
When they're watching the bubble opera.
That scene is so weird.
That is some of the best dialogue.
Have you ever heard the tragedy of
What are they watching?
What
are they watching?
There's it's opera.
It's an opera performance.
It is the stupidest thing because it's so distracting. Because the whole time I love that scene, but I'm like, what are they actually watching? Maybe I'm thinking about it too much, but it took me out of it.
It's an opera. It's technically an opera, but
I'll tell you what it's called. Squid Lake, as performed by a Mon Calamari troupe.
It looks so dumb.
It's cool.
No, it's cool. Imagine opera in a big floating ball of water. That would be cool as. Anyway,
okay, let's go on to our 5 favorites. We're gonna try and smash through it.
Those were good moments. We picked some good moments, but let's jump into our 5 favorites now. So as a reminder, that's our 5 favorite movies, 5 favorite TV shows, and I know we don't typically talk much about them, but our 5 favorite video games.
Yeah.
Just to round out the trilogy.
Yeah.
I suggested soundtracks as well, scores, but we talked about that the other week. So we're gonna throw in video games.
Video games are very cinematic. I mean,
100%.
There's some that are very similar to movies.
Yeah, definitely. Some have better plots than
100%.
Some movies, though. Admittedly, if you have 60 to 90 hours to tell a story, including side quests and stuff, then it's gonna boost your plot.
Yeah,
you don't have that 90-minute runtime.
But why don't we go around and we'll do our number 5s, number 4s, number 3s all together
for each category, or just
so we'll go movies first, or do our 5s, etc. Then TV, then game. Okay. So number 5 movies.
Ratatouille.
Mulholland Drive.
Howl's Moving Castle.
Oh, great pick.
Okay. Across the Spider-Verse for me, my number 4.
Mine is The Social Network.
Kung Fu Panda.
My number 3 is Dune Part 2.
Wow. Hi. Just came out. My 3 is Goodfellas.
A New Hope. I was going to put Dune Part 2 as my number 5. I did consider that, but then I changed it.
This is a bit of toss-up.
I've only seen it once.
I had a bit of toss-up between 2 and 1. I walked in on my sister watching number 2 yesterday and told her, get ready. You're gonna cry, but it's gonna be the best thing you've ever seen. My number 2 is Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl. And after she watched it, she came in and was like, "You were so right. It's so sad." Like, yeah. Anyway,
2001: A Space Odyssey.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Really? How to Train Your Dragon? Oh wait, we're
This is
talking
my
about
number
twos.
2.
I'm dumb.
Cam?
honestly didn't know what to do for this. My number 1.
My number 1 was my easiest one.
Yeah.
Rogue One.
Your number 1 movie of all time.
Wow.
At the moment,
Well, yeah, obviously.
I'm
they
caught up
changed,
in a
but
Star Wars craze, but
Yeah.
yes,
Fair enough.
Rogue One.
Boogie Nights.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sorry to spoil.
But
Okay.
these are good lists.
Yeah.
3 good lists.
These are all some really good recommendations if you're looking for films to watch.
Mm-hmm.
These films.
Yeah.
Speaking of, go follow us on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
Yes.
At
True.
Olly Ritchie. And as we said at the start, I am leaving after next episode. So if you still want to hear my film opinions, I'm not as eloquent when I'm
We'll just
writing
read out your
reviews because I'm a
As
bit
Jay.
lazier.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow me on
Can we
Letterboxd.
put it in the show notes? Our Letterboxd? I think we could.
Maybe.
We'll just read off your letterbox.
I'll
each
write a
week.
note to that.
Yeah,
Ollie,
we'll-
Ollie watched this film.
It'll just be us talking about
Yeah.
him.
Oh,
Yeah,
look
that's
at
a
his
good idea.
letterbox. He watched this.
Okay, Ollie, what's your top 5 TV shows? Start with number 5.
Number 5 is Demon Slayer.
Okay,
Mm.
Jake?
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay. My number 5 is Top Gear.
Nice.
No complaints.
My number 4, The Mandalorian.
Nice. Mine is Mad Men.
My number 4 is Sherlock, the BBC one. With
That's a
Benedict
good one.
Cumberbatch.
That's a good. I
don't think we talked
I
about
feel
that,
like
at
I
all.
have a lot of like equals after 5. Like I could have put anything for my number 5 and below, and they would all like. I really like them all, but
Yeah.
this is just what I've gone with.
Okay. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is The Clone Wars.
Breaking Bad.
My number 3 is also the Clone Wars.
Very nice.
Cool.
Yeah, I still haven't seen Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I need to.
Yeah.
It still reminds me of that Family Guy cutaway that's Peter watching Breaking
You will
Bad.
watch Breaking Bad and recommend it to all your friends. Breaking Bad is the best show you've seen,
Except maybe
The Wire. It's so good.
What's your number 2, Ollie?
My number 2 is Star Wars Rebels.
What's your number 2, Jake?
Better Call Saul.
Mine is Arcane. What's yours?
My number 1 is Invincible.
Yeah, okay.
Wow. Twin Peaks.
Andor.
Yeah, Andor's a great pick.
I'm
Andor is a
stuck
great
on
pick. Andor's
Star
I
Wars.
do
top
feel
10.
like I am missing like TV shows. Like I genuinely can't think of
Yeah.
some TV shows I've watched. Because when you said Breaking Bad, I was like, I feel like there's a like a Stranger Things or something like that that's like a really high budget live action world renowned TV show that I have watched all the way through, but I just can't think of it.
Honestly, The Crown was sneaking up into number 5 for me, but I just couldn't.
A lot of good TV.
It makes me want to watch like Breaking Bad and stuff.
I really wanted to put Andor on there.
Except maybe The Wire.
Except maybe The Wire. The Wire's great. That's probably my 7th. The Sopranos is also up there for me.
Is that number 6?
Yeah.
All right, Jake, what's your 5th video game?
Bit of a recent entry, but Sekiro.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I'm so happy it's your 5th. Like,
Yeah.
not that I've ever played it, not that I probably ever will play it, but I just think it's really
the
cool.
hardest game I've ever played, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's the most rewarding combat system in any game ever.
Cam.
Mine is Far Cry 4.
Interesting.
So this is one of the first ever games that I got when I got my first console, which was an Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was some of the best storytelling. It still hasn't been topped by any of the other games in the franchise.
The only Far Cry game I've played is 5, and I haven't finished
Is
it.
that the one with Giancarlo Esposito, or is that 6?
That's 6.
Oh, that's 6, yeah.
6 is also really good. I'd put it above 5, but that is...
I never played.
I think I
Far
just
Cry.
got 5 for free, and I was like,
Oh, cool.
looks pretty good.
Fair enough.
I'll give it a go.
I'm not a big fan of that like whole America theme, but
I just liked
Real.
that it was like sort of modern, but in the wild. Like I didn't want to play
Yeah.
Far Cry Primal, but I liked how much like
No.
open field sort of nature there was.
yeah. But we can
It
all
was
agree.
it was giving me modern Red Dead.
Fair enough. We can all agree that New Dawn is pretty garbage, though.
Haven't played it.
Haven't played, like I said.
I
haven't
played
any
20
of it.
minutes of it, and it wasn't great. No, it was more like a couple hours. But anyway, what's your number?
My
4?
number 5 is Pokemon Diamond. I felt like I had to put a Pokemon game on there because
Wouldn't you-
it's the one series I've consistently come back to since I first got a DS in like when I was 8 or
Were
when
you playing this on your phone the other day?
No, that was Pokemon Black.
Okay, I don't know the difference.
Dude, Delta emulator saving my life.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Did you get it?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Your number 4.
My number 4 is The Last of Us Part 1. If you asked me like 3 years ago, this would be my number 1. But yeah.
I
Stuff has
wish I
changed.
could put The Last of Us on there, but I haven't played it. I need to get a PlayStation.
Yeah, I will
This is
play
why.
it one day.
This has a better story than most movies nowadays.
It does.
What about the show? Do you think
The show is good.
Do you think the show does the story better than the game?
No.
But that's because you actually get to play through it. Because the story is
Yes.
pretty much the same.
Yes. There's some key there's some key additions that make the show a little bit better, but there's also some
Yeah. Theoretically,
take
like
out.
plot wise, like if you just cut it, like if you cut the game just down to those beats, the show is better.
yeah.
Because they've had the chance to improve.
I'm probably biased though.
But the game has extra content, which
Yeah.
just like rounds it out.
I think
right?
playing through it really like has an impact on it.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So can I spoil it a little bit?
the game.
The story and yeah.
Well,
The game and the
it's
show.
over, isn't it? It's over 10 years old.
When Joel's killing the hospital workers to get Ellie out, like that doesn't have the same impact when you're just watching it. When you're actually killing them,
Though
to
I do
get-
think they did that sequence really well.
that sequence is great. But when
When
you're
you're-
actually
When
making
you're
these
playing
decisions,
the game, making those decisions.
yeah, it's a lot
Yeah.
more impactful.
It's like in you've played Jedi Survivor, right?
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah.
It's like when. Do you know the story?
No, I haven't.
Do you care about spoilers?
Yeah, I do actually for this one. I'm going to buy it very soon, but
Okay.
I'll take my headphones off and plug my ears.
Okay. It's like when you press to
Mm-hmm.
use the
Yeah.
dark side.
Yeah.
It's like that's.
Yeah.
I genuinely
Mm-hmm.
put my controller down, hoping it would go away. I was like, is this one of those prompts that like disappears?
Yeah. I love when games do
And
do
it
stuff
didn't.
like that.
And every time it came up, which was like
Mhm.
3 total, I think,
Yeah.
I did that.
It's great.
I'm so intrigued for the third one to see if
Mm.
he actually uses it more. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Where are we at?
That was your number 4, right?
Yes.
Oh, so my number 4. My number 4 is GTA 5.
I
Nice.
love GTA.
That's
5,
not on
man.
my list, but it is. I wanted it since it came out when I was 10.
I've seen so
Way
many
too young for it,
playthroughs of
but I
it.
just desperately wanted it.
The first time I played it was, I think I got it on Xbox
Yeah.
and then played the story through, and that was awesome. And then I got it with when it was free on Epic,
Oh.
and I have never gone back to it on Xbox because just on PC.
I
it's-
really want to play it with friends.
Yeah, it's probably my
'Cause
favorite online ever.
Because I got it. I never cared about the story. I got it for
Yeah.
online. I thought that was so cool how you could have your own bunker, have your own apartment,
Mm.
have all these vehicles, play with your friends, do heists.
For sure.
And
Have you played the story?
yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't finished it. But I've watched it all the way through.
I must say that the Midnight City that's the song it finishes with, right?
I think
I can't remember.
I think it's Midnight City by M83.
M83, yeah.
Yeah, M83. But that is one of the best endings to any video game, hands down.
Yeah. It's a solid
so
story.
good.
I'm intrigued to see what they do with GTA 6. I think that
Yeah.
one will have a bigger focus on
It's
the
gonna
story.
be hard. To
Yeah,
top.
I think
Yeah.
I don't like. I reckon they will do online, but I
Mm.
reckon they've really gone hard on
Yeah.
the story. After seeing the reception to Red Dead 2, and like the now like backlash that they're getting towards online, like I think online when it came out and even for years to come was fantastic, but it's definitely gone more downhill lately.
Mm.
And so I think hopefully they would have learnt like from RDR2 and that backlash that
Mm.
they really need to focus on the story.
Yeah.
I know a lot of YouTubers who played online. It was mostly the start of every video was mostly them going and buying shark cards
Mm.
and then doing what they needed to do because it was so hard to make money.
But
It
that's-
is easier now.
it's a great
It is
pick,
definitely
though.
easier.
Yeah.
now.
I have so many hours in the game.
Fair enough.
I
The cutscenes though, because let's talk about film for a little bit. The cutscenes was so well done, especially
Yeah.
for a game that old.
Mm-hmm.
It was ahead of its time, I think. What's your number 3, Ollie?
my number 4.
You haven't done your 4?
No?
He has not.
Oh, okay. What's your
It's
Sorry,
Jake.
Jake
Cam,
first.
yeah.
Right, yeah.
My number 4 is Spider-Man,
Yeah.
the 2018 game.
Hard to leave this off.
I had already watched the gameplay, like the story, all the way through before I got it, and I still desperately wanted it. I bought a secondhand PS4 just for this game. So this game cost me like $220 because I had to pay for the PS4 and the game. And it was worth it. It's so good.
It's amazing.
I still haven't finished the DLC because I think they drop in quality a little bit compared to the
for sure.
compared to the story of the main game. They're still good, but like it does get repetitive, especially when you're trying to 100%. When you're doing the exact same thing over the game and then 3 DLC. But that being said, I absolutely love just swinging around. The combat's so good, and I'm so excited to one day play Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
I just can't afford a PS5.
Fair. I got this game when it came out, and I'll never forget the feeling when I swung for the first time. It was one of my favorite moments in gaming. It was hard to leave this off the list because the story's so good. I love Spider-Man. Just so many good games, man.
I wish I bought this one instead of the one. So I bought it when it was on sale on Steam. I got Miles Morales instead. And that was...
You bought that... so you hadn't played Spider-Man, but you played... That was a weird choice.
I knew the story
it's the
of it, though,
sequel.
and it was an extra $20 that I didn't want to have to spend.
Okay, I guess that's fair.
When you're spending already $40 on a game. I couldn't have justified it, but it was still some of the best gameplay, and they've improved on it. But yeah, Spider-Man is so up there for so many people, and it makes a lot of sense. It's such a good game.
Yeah, it's great.
100%.
What's your number 3, Jake?
Bloodborne.
Another Souls game.
Oh,
Can't
I am
say I've
so
ever
Souls
played.
piled. It's not the last Souls game.
Yeah. Well, I know what the other one is.
Yeah.
Number 3.
They make the best games ever.
Cam?
Okay. My number 3 is Just Cause 3.
Interesting.
This is also one of the first games I got with my Xbox. It's actually the reason it got sent to repair for 6 months because it started to struggle and then it went blank.
I'm surprised it's on your list.
I love
it's
Just Cause
so
3
good.
so much.
Haven't
It's
played it.
so worth it. You can get it for pretty cheap.
On sale, like
And
$8.
It's honestly some of the most fun I've ever had playing a game.
Some of the most interesting, unique gameplay from any game.
A wingsuit, a parachute, and a grapple hook.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how you move around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
That's literally all you need to know to sell
You
the game.
don't even need cars. Or you don't even
And
need
there are cars.
vehicles at all. But
I'm in.
it makes it's so much fun.
Genuinely add it to your list. I know I know you're willing to play more than just Souls games, but like going from a
Like,
Souls game to
actually.
that
I'm playing
is
Ghost
going to
of Tsushima.
feel so free.
I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. Well, we'll put it on your
But
list.
yeah, any game besides Souls, it feels freeing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I might need that.
What's your 3?
My number
Ollie?
3 is Fallen Order. Star Wars Jedi
Nice.
Fallen Order.
Great game.
The period where this came out was possibly one of the best of my life. It was the end of year 11. I had just watched the first episode of Mando, and I had pre-ordered Fallen Order, and I was playing Fallen Order, and I was just having the best time. It was so good. Mando season 1, first of its kind Star Wars TV show.
It was such a refreshing break.
Releasing at the same time as this amazing game. So fun to play.
I love this game.
And I remember the moment I saw that there were double-bladed lightsabers in the game. I lost my mind. I wasn't at home, but it was after the game came out, so I'd already been playing it for a bit. And then they released like a little...
a patch.
No, it was a... No, they were already in the game. They
Oh,
didn't
like a
patch
teaser.
them. Yeah, like a teaser.
Yeah.
Post-launch teaser. It was like a 30-second TV spot or something. And then the very last frame, well, it was more than a frame, but the very last clip, which was only half a second or something, was just Cal igniting two blades. And then it cut to black. And all of the news, I mean, people had probably already played up to that point, but it just went crazy. Everyone talking about it. I would never forget this period of my life.
This was such a refreshing break from the previous EA Star Wars games. Like,
For sure.
Battlefront 1 was...
I enjoyed both
looked
Battlefront
really
games,
good.
but they definitely had a bad fan reception.
I'm going to stand by Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
I like that game a lot.
Battlefront 2 is definitely better than Battlefield 1, but... Battlefront. We're not talking about Battlefield. Go away.
I don't think we will.
Yeah, good. Battlefront 1 when it first came out, the graphics were incredible, and people were blown away by it. It looked so good, except it was catering too much to the online crowd, I think. Yeah, Jedi Fallen Order. Whenever someone asks me what it's about or what it is, I say it's pretty much Uncharted, but Star Wars
with Souls elements.
Uncharted.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of the
interesting.
exploring and like movement mechanics are really close to
People
Uncharted.
have said it's like if you took Uncharted and Dark Souls and made them have a Star Wars baby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love all three of those things, so that's awesome. Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I beat this so quickly when it came out.
Yeah.
Way too quickly.
My brother was like, he beat it before me.
Yeah.
And he was like, haha, I know this spoiler. You're not going to believe what happens. And I was like, Darth Vader shows up. And he was like, because that was the spoiler.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, because he didn't like that I knew because I saw it in a YouTube thumbnail. Which,
also, one of my favorite moments in gaming, finding that out.
All right, Jake, what's your number 2?
God, it was so hard not to put this game on because this game changed the way I play games forever. And I'm not gonna say that about like a bunch of games like I do movies.
Changed my life.
Yep. Elden Ring.
Knew that was your other Souls game.
Oh my gosh, this game! It literally is one of the best games I've ever played. The best open world, so challenging but so rewarding. The bosses, the lore, the graphics, everything about it opened me up to Souls. It literally changed the way I played games. So yeah.
Okay.
It's so hard not to put that one because wow. But yeah.
Very cool. My number
I probably will play it again eventually. Like the Souls games really intrigue me, and I've watched a lot of gameplay of them, but they're just at the moment too hard for me. I just got Hades.
Yeah.
And even that, like that's not a Souls game, that's a roguelike, but it's hard.
I'm not a fan of roguelikes. I played God of War Ragnarok.
I'm not normally, but I do like Hades.
Yeah.
It's good.
The Ragnarok Valhalla DLC, they were released for free, and that was a roguelike, and it was cool, but yeah, not my thing.
I do prefer a story game, but this, like the roguelike is built into the story.
Yeah, that's cool.
For this.
That's cool.
And yeah, I think it works.
Yeah.
Okay, my number 2 is Forza Horizon 3.
Actually, fantastic pick.
Yeah.
2 or 3 for me.
I've never played 2.
2 was the first one I played. It's the reason I got an Xbox over a PlayStation.
Fair enough.
Is Forza.
Yeah. This was one of the first games, again, that I played on Xbox. And, oh my God, like, being able to drive around Australia with pretty much any car you wanted in almost
with
any
your
environment.
friends.
Well, I didn't have Xbox Gold.
I had 2 friends, one who had Forza and one who got an Xbox and Forza to play with us. And so it didn't happen very often, but we would sometimes play online, the 3 of us. But every time you went over to one of our houses, we would play and we'd make up our own challenges. Like, you have $100,000 to make the best car, and then you have to do these 5 challenges, and we'd time each other, and like whoever had the best score won. And it was so much fun. And every now and then, even now, we'll still do that.
I wish I got Xbox Live. Damn. Yeah.
But that wasn't even live. That was like in each other's houses.
Oh.
Like just passing the controller around.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Highly recommend it even now.
I still think I prefer the visuals of 4.
Well, yeah, it's
and 5,
an upgrade.
But if I wish the map was bigger.
Yeah.
That's my only little bit of criticism for this game. The map should have been bigger.
I think Horizon 3 was where they peaked conceptually. Obviously, they got better graphics. They got better, like...
Fun fact, with the graphics, if you look at the sky in the game, that's really the outback sky. So the dev team for Playground Games went to the middle of nowhere in Australia and recorded the sky for, I think it was like 48 hours straight.
Nice.
And with a bunch of different weather conditions. So that footage is real, and that's why it feels so realistic. And they have
also
the skybox replicates that on the ground.
That's awesome.
So
also, the DLC for Horizon 3 was so good. There was Blizzard Mountain, which was so cool because it was in Australia, so there was no other way to like play on snow. And snow in a driving game is just so fun. Like it really changes the way you drive. So much more drifting.
Yeah.
It slows you down a bit, which gives you more control apart from when you drift. And I don't know, it was just really awesome. And then they released Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels in a realistic racing sim. Yeah. Like this isn't an arcade racer where you're expected to do loop-the-loops.
It is.
Well,
compared to motorsport.
Well, yeah, it definitely is. Arcade. It definitely is.
There's
but,
a whole...
but it isn't at the same time.
Yeah.
And then you're driving like in a Lamborghini Centurion,
and then doing
upside down in a loop-the-loop on orange Hot Wheels tracks that are car road sized. It was so cool.
So what's your number 2, Olly?
My number 2 is Jedi Survivor. I just think, I know it had problems at launch, but they never affected me enough to not absolutely froth over and be so obsessed with this game. It took me 79 hours to 100% over probably 100 hours since the game came out, maybe a bit more than that. Well, definitely more than that, but like a week. Game came out, a week later I had 100%ed it.
But that's playing every day.
Yes, but not all day. The gameplay, fantastic. The story, whilst not as good as Fallen Order in my opinion, still fantastic. The payoffs from the first game were really good. The original parts were maybe not as good.
I totally agree.
But just the gameplay and
great.
The upgrades in graphics, even though there was problems with that, it was just such a good experience for me. I really, really enjoyed it.
The exploration is amazing in this game, and I love the gameplay. I prefer Fallen Order, but not by that much.
Yeah.
It's great. I love
it. Came out nearly a year ago today.
Yeah. Wow. I beat this also very quickly.
Yeah.
I haven't 100%ed it, but I want to do that.
Yeah. It's also like, one thing I really like about it is Cal, who is already pretty capable in the first game. Like I know you unlock his capabilities throughout. He's already pretty capable. Like he's fighting Inquisitors. In this game, you feel like he's on par with like some of the Jedi Knights and Masters of old.
He's awesome in this game.
He's like, when you're not controlling him, I mean, when you're not controlling him, he's beating or at least tying someone who is considered to be one of the best duelists of their time in a time when the Jedi were even stronger than they were in the prequels. So, I don't know. It's just, I love having a really strong, capable character.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And then having them get absolutely beat down and then come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my number 2. Jake, what is your number 1 game of all time?
Can you guys guess?
I have 2 guesses.
Yeah.
One of them is the same as mine, so I'm going to guess the other one, but I feel like it's probably
guess the other one.
Spider-Man 2.
Nope, it's Red Dead Redemption 2.
That was my other one.
So.
I mean, man, it doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah.
When people ask me what's the greatest game of all time, I so desperately want to say like Last of Us or Elden Ring, but I'm like, no, it's Red Dead.
It is
like
Red Dead.
It always comes back to Red Dead.
It's my number 1 too. I slept on this game. Honestly, when it first came out, I was like, I didn't know anything about Red Dead. I hadn't played the first one. I know this is a prequel, but I was just like, I'm not interested in the world. And I watched gameplay maybe like 5 hours into the game, which is not that far. And I was like, I could take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were studying sort of around that time period in modern history in high school.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to play this game. I have to play it. At the same time, we were studying ancient Greece.
Yeah.
And I was like, I have to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Picked that up, tried that first. Bye-bye. Hated it.
Yeah, it's a bad game.
It looks great. I love being in Greece, but the gameplay, anyway. Yeah. But I was like, okay, well, let me try Red Dead. Instantly fell in love. Yeah. Straight away.
It's the best, man.
I still haven't 100%ed it, but I will. I have like 180 hours in it or something, which is not even that much because probably 60 of those are the story.
Such a long story. It's so much. But yeah, this is right up there with Last of Us, which with one of the best stories I've ever experienced. Arthur Morgan is probably my favorite character in all video games. One of my favorite characters just ever.
Sorry, keep going.
I was just going to say the voice acting of him and the rest of the characters like Dutch are just amazing. But what were you going to say?
Did you play him with high morality or low morality?
The high honor ending is the best.
Yeah, 100% agree. I saw people that absolutely love the game and think it's their favorite game and played with low morality.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
No.
Like, I've seen the other endings. They're not nearly as powerful.
They're bad. Yeah.
And they still think it's the best game of all time.
Yeah.
Which
Imagine
is
their faces when they play the other ending. Yeah. I mean, the graphics, I think there's games probably with more impressive graphics.
Well, this came out 2018 and it is stunning.
No,
I genuinely think this has the most impressive.
It's my favorite graphic. It's my favorite looking game.
After doing a solid year of studying games and how games are made through electives at uni, no game can beat the absolute attention to detail that Rockstar has gone to in these graphics. They have volumetric clouds. There's a TikTok series that dives into it, but the clouds have got, even though you can't fly up there and see them, they have height. They have height and depth and width, and it changes the type of weather. If you go inside one, you get condensation on your screen.
That's crazy.
They went into way too much detail for something that you're never going to see. And
well, you sort of can, sort of.
Not really, but
there are some areas that have fog and it's sort of the same.
Yeah, when it's foggy at night in this game and you've got your lantern and you see people coming towards you with lanterns and going past, like, some of the best atmospheric graphics ever.
The game makes me so happy and comfortable. It's weird. Like, it's like a really, dark world with like a lot of guns and slinging, but just exploring on my horse and fishing and hunting makes me happier than, like, even just playing blackjack I could spend hours doing it.
Yeah. That's how I learned how to play poker.
For sure.
It's like I was taught by my friend and I was like, I don't remember, so I'm going to play it in Red Dead, and I practiced.
With fake money.
Well, yeah. I've been in 2 separate classes, games production class and sound design class.
That's what I was going to say.
And both of them reference it.
If you study
in
sound design under David Spencer, he will talk about this game on length. He has so many examples of it and how good the sound
It can be studied on so many levels. Storytelling, and then also visuals, sound dedesign,
just game design.
Just game design. I just can't believe how good this game is. It always, like, 'cause since it's so big, you don't really replay it that much, I guess. And as a whole,
it's such a commitment. Yeah, and it's one that's really worth it the first time. Yeah, and it's absolutely worth it other times, but it's so much harder to do it again and again.
The tutorial it's like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's very long.
It's
crazy. Longer than that even.
But whenever you come back to it, man, it's just always there, and it's just the best.
Yeah. So before I say my number one, I will say this was a toss-up. However, I haven't finished Red Dead 2 yet. Mm-hmm. I've had it for about 2 years, and I've been very slowly playing through it, taking in every single moment.
That's special.
I haven't finished it yet, so I couldn't put it on my list. My number one is Fallout 4.
I knew you were going to go there.
Now, this is the game that I have over 700 hours in this game.
Wow.
Since
I think my game with the most hours, probably apart from Minecraft, which you can't track, is TF2 with 530. Jeez. And I haven't played that for years.
I have 800 hours in Black Ops 3.
Nice.
Which is
we
weird.
don't talk about that.
Yeah. I don't know why I have many hours.
Pokemon, I definitely have more hours, actually. Yeah. But, like, the series. Anyway.
But for a single-player game, that is a lot of hours that I've put into it. And yes, this game has so many problems. It's got so many problems with almost every aspect of it, but I don't care. It was one of the first games I've ever played. It was one of the best.
Also one of the first games I played.
Yeah, one of the best study of character development, because of the amount of characters and the amount of little stories and the lore between every tiny little element of the game. There's a boy in a fridge. and you do a 10-minute quest with him, sure.
Wild statement
But-
out of context.
True. There's a boy in a fridge. I'm not going to get into it. You can Google it. But if you look into it, there are pages and pages of lore behind why he's in that fridge. And it is
awesome game.
It is one of the best games I've ever played. I'm still playing through it. I've done the ending like 40 times. I don't care. I still love it.
What's your favorite ending?
It's the minimum ending. I
Yeah,
love
100%.
the when you're attacked at the castle and you're defending it with all of your
that mission
built
is
up
so
turrets
annoying,
and the
but
time
it's great.
you've spent into it.
Yeah.
So good. And then when you go back and play it again, but with mods that improve just the gameplay experience in general and fix those problems that I talked about. Yeah. It's just such a good
Definitely not a perfect game, but
No.
it's amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
one
It's
of the best
definitely
games.
on my need to play list. I bought it 3 years ago or something for $8,
That's a great.
and
steal.
I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm gonna play this
Yeah.
tonight."
I'm ignoring all
not
of
touched it
the
since
next gen update that came out last week or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm ignoring that. I don't care.
They're weird.
But this, I think it has so many awards. It's definitely not the most awarded game in history.
No.
Let's find out
I
what it
think-
is.
I believe it's GTA 5. That GTA 5 is the most profitable.
Most
piece
awarded
of
game of all
media.
time is The Last of Us Part 2,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and then The Witcher 3,
Yeah, that makes sense.
and then
God of War.
God of War. Actually,
Zelda,
wait,
and then The
where
Last
does it
of Us.
say how many they have?
God, it was
Most
so hard not to
award-
put God of War or Breath of the Wild on my list.
I haven't played any of those. I haven't played
No.
Breath of the
You
Wild.
would adore Breath of the Wild.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, there
I'm
we go.
desperate to play.
Elder
it.
Scrolls and Uncharted 4. I played those.
If you like
Okay,
Princess
number
Mononoke,
8 is Red Dead.
that's
2.
just absurd.
Number 9 is GTA 5.
How many awards does it say?
163.
163 awards. Okay, interesting.
Two,
But
321 Game of the Year awards for The Last of Us Part 2.
I like God of War, but the fact that Red Dead 2 did not win Game of the Year
It's kind of
wrong.
disgusting.
makes me angry.
But
Death Stranding.
I want to play Death Stranding.
No, you don't.
I do.
didn't
I have it.
like
I
like
will
Kojima.
play it.
It's weird, but Kojima weird. You know. But yeah, that can't say anymore. And
That's number 20.
I think the first Fallout game that I played was Fallout 4,
Yeah.
and then I got Fallout 3, and I'd always play that with a friend that we would, you died, okay, swap controller.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Or
good.
maybe try this next time.
That's
and then
fun.
I finally played New Vegas, and I loved it, but I don't think anything, just for me, can top Fallout 4.
Fallout 4
I've
is a great
started
intro.
playing 3,
Yeah.
and it is so overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I imagine 4 would be even more so.
4 is a great intro to
Kind of.
the series.
It is really good,
Though.
yeah, to get into the series. It
Yeah.
gives you a bit of lore behind.
Well, that's why I played
Everything,
3,
but-
because it's like they were like, if you're going to start with the more modern ones, go 3 New Vegas 4.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
You can definitely avoid
I think I
76.
need some.
76.
I think I need some mods for 3 to make it look better,
Yeah.
because it kind of just looks green and grey,
tough to play.
and so it's not making me want to explore more
Yeah.
and stuff.
It does give me that crazy nostalgia, though.
Yeah,
100%.
Like that,
Yeah.
like some smell from your childhood that
yeah.
you just
It makes me
find in
think
your brain.
of Modern Warfare 2, like the original version, like that
Yeah.
green and grayness to it.
Yeah.
Not any of the gameplay or anything, just that
The
color.
look. Yeah.
But that's our top 5s.
Yeah. Well,
I
I know we
think
talked a lot more about
we
games.
have
It was fun to-
fantastic list.
it was fun to talk
But
about video games with you.
Those
guys.
are
We rarely do.
check out all of those recommendations,
Yeah.
because even one or two of them.
If
They
you take
will-
away anything from this, if you haven't played Red Dead 2, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Go play
don't
it.
do it.
It's the best.
And watch everything we talked about.
Yeah, that's important too.
Before we finish up, quick Film Society stuff. We have changed the venue of the screening. It'll now be in 1A21, the theaterette behind Mizuna. This is because of exam week, and apparently they need a lecture theatre for it, which is weird. But yes, we've changed it. We're also going to put posters around building 2 on the night, just in case you forget. But yeah, still 6 p.m. in the theaterette. Please submit your films. So far, we've only got one from other people. I know there's.
We just got another
at
one
least
during
quite
this
a few-
recording.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome!
There's quite a few in there from Film Society
Yeah.
committee members, but not from the general public.
Yeah,
of
I know that
UC, so
I've
definitely
got-
submit yours.
I've got coffee order, drop off, run, Stumbling Home will be there, and Labyrinth. So that's five that I've been involved in.
Cam, you're a workhorse.
I worked
check
on
out my
3 of those.
IMDb, by the way.
Crazy.
I worked on 3 of those too.
Oh yeah, true. Nice, good job, us.
We did well.
Good job, team.
Yeah.
Google my name on. I have
Google my name.
I have an IMDb page. It's great.
That's pretty much it for this week. Before we go, the movie we will be deep diving next week in our final episode of the season is The Last Samurai. So definitely watch that if you want to not be spoiled next episode and talk along with us and hear our opinions on the movie.
I'm excited to watch it. I love Cruise. I love Samurais. So I think it'll be a fun movie nonetheless.
100%. I really enjoy it. I think you'll like it.
Well, for the second last time of this season.
Thanks for joining us for this week of Off Camera. We'll see you next week.
It's a wrap.
See ya.